You don't have to do it
The Cadbury bunny does something and something, and I don't know.
You don't remember what the ad was.
I don't know what the Cadbury bunny does.
Well, this is horribly off topic with Chris and Steve. What the ad would end with, like, and no bunny knows Easter better than him.
Oh, you know, bunnies are not. No, they are pets, but they're not Easter presents. They're not Easter presents. Like, that's one of those ads I keep seeing on Facebook.
There's an ad?
This week. Ads, stupid things people share. I mean, everything on Facebook is a fucking ad. It's all ads. They're all trying to sell us, man. They're trying to sell us on their fucking bullshit. In this case, no. In this case, it's something. So
what you're saying is you love Facebook.
Something serious. No. And I think it's a really good point. I don't know if it's an ASPCA.
We have to make the point before we can say if it's good or not.
that people sometimes give rabbits as Easter presents, and then those bunnies and rabbits end up at shelters because bunnies are not all that interesting, and kids don't want to take care of them.
Yeah, because they have to stay in a cage. They'll eat wires. They'll Hold on, I think I'm gonna sneeze. Fuck! It went away.
Aren't you supposed to be happy that it went away?
No, it's just like the weird feeling. Like, sneezing is like, sort of euphoric. Like when it happens.
When it happens, yeah.
But when it doesn't happen, it's like, when I don't know, you never jerk off. But like when you're, when you're about to come, but then you stop.
And
then you don't.
What? It was in Orange Is the New Black. Somebody tries to convince. Jason Biggs. Jason Bateman. Jason Biggs, not to jerk off to the point just before coming and then stop, which is an interesting practice, I guess.
I don't agree with that.
It didn't seem like he enjoyed it.
I mean, it does create a mess.
It does. What? Stopping?
No, not stopping.
Not stopping. Does create a mess.
Yes. Unless you're one of those people that just like slaps a Jimmy hat on so they can whack their bag.
I think I might have done that once.
I did it once too. It was easy cleanup. You just kind of,
I mean, it's better than have you tried tissues? You tried tissues?
Yes, every time.
Every time, I don't know. Yeah.
Who gives up on tissues?
Who gives up on tissues? I don't know. If I were the type to jerk off.
Which you're not. I understand.
I'm not. Are we going back to this? I guess we're going back to this bit.
You're back to the don't jerk off guy.
If I were the type to jerk off, I think I would kind of plan it around when I was going to take a shower, and I would just sort of, end up in the shower to clean myself off. That's what I think I would.
So you would jerk off in the shower, or you would jerk off before the shower?
Before the shower, and then clean off in the shower.
Okay, so
as not to waste precious napkins or tissues.
Yeah, I know they're in short supply.
They are in short supply.
I see. I'm not I don't know. There's usually a lot. Not a lot, but like a significant amount that I would have either on me or near me.
Sure.
And so I don't that jerking off pre-shower doesn't really work.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I pull up, it's getting it on my underpants.
Well, I would think if it was the walk from let's say theoretically, hypothetically,
okay,
it was the walk from my computer desk to my shower, which is the next room over.
You're gonna do the.
Yeah,
the stiff leg walk because you get your underwear down your ankles.
Maybe the underwear's off. I mean, maybe I'm already naked. You know what I mean?
What kind of seat do you have on your chair?
It's an uncomfortable one. I mean,
but is it leather?
It is not leather.
Okay, no. Good. So you're not getting butt cheeks on
I'm not
leather.
Getting butt cheeks on the leather.
All right, let's get enough jerk off talk. We Oh, no, do you want to go back to it?
No. I was going to try to transition, and I just can't.
Transitions.
So
we're talking about we got horribly off topic right at the bat. We're talking about the fucking Easter bunny or the fucking Cadbury cream egg guy, the bunny, and then we just jerk off.
That guy sounds like he jerks off a little bit.
What?
I don't know. That guy sounds like he jerks off a little bit. Maybe what's inside the Cadbury cream eggs is some cream.
No, it's sugar.
I've never liked Cadbury stuff. The British people apparently swear by Cadbury stuff and think and higher class people think that Hershey products are disgusting. I am all about the Hershey products. I don't care if there's no fucking chocolate in them.
Well, you kind of grew up on it, and you guys as a family would go to Hershey, Pennsylvania, and did you ever go to Amish country when you were down there?
We did go to Amish County. We went right down into Intercourse, Pennsylvania, and Bird in Hand, and Virginville.
Bird in Hand. That's another one. How much is that worth?
Two in the mouth.
It's Bush.
Oh wait. Oh man, maybe I have an oral fixation. Wait, if you have an oral,
don't stare at me when you say that.
Wait, if you have the oral fixation, are you the one that likes to put things in your mouth, or the one who likes to put things in other people's mouths?
I think you want things in your mouth.
Okay, no, I don't have the oral fixation though.
Okay,
but anyway. So the
off with a bang. So yeah, I like a Cadbury cream egg.
Yeah, it's kind of gross. I gotta say.
I usually have one a year. But the thing is, you have to make sure you it's more expensive to just buy one, because of course buying in bulk is cheaper. But right. So they have the little 4-pack, and it's it's only $1 for the 4, but if I get one, it's 59 cents.
That's how they get you.
Yeah,
that's how they get you.
That's how you get you to buy 4 of them.
That's how they get you to buy a Big Gulp, is what I'm saying. You see the Big Gulp, and the Big Gulp is only 10 cents more than the regular Gulp, the adjectiveless Gulp.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, it's twice the Gulp. Why not do that? You always forget, if you're me, that spending that extra 10 cents and getting that extra 32
get diet soda anyways, so it's fine.
No, but it's not fine. You forget.
Well, that's not fine, because diet soda is poison.
You're going to be fucking pissing yourself for
Well, you have the littlest bladder in the world.
I do not have the average. We talked about this last time.
Yeah, we did, and but the thing is,
I don't have a Big Gulp.
But you don't have to drink it all in one sitting.
Soda. I see. They have.
Don't get soda. Get iced tea.
They have a super Big Gulp, and that I really don't get, because the Big Gulp is flat by the time I get done with my 45-minute commute, and I don't want any more of it. So that's why I drink it all at once. I should start drinking coffee.
You just drink black coffee.
I've never had coffee in my life. So once.
Shut up! You've had coffee.
I've had coffee once on stage.
We did talk about this.
We did talk about that.
What the hell?
We talked about everything.
I know.
We should fucking show.
No. No.
What
the fuck? How do you go through your you don't like the taste, or
we've talked about this too.
No, but seriously,
my parents were smokers and coffee drinkers, and I didn't like the smell of either, and I didn't do either.
We'll get a hazelnut blend.
I don't mind the smell of it now, but I've had the few times that I've had coffee during that show, it was such bad coffee that I'm like...
Was it Folgers Crystals?
It was...
I think I already said that, too.
You probably...
What do we have on the list? So I keep on not saying things that I already said.
Well, so it's Easter. Or yesterday was Easter. Or tomorrow is Easter.
Depending on
depending on if you're us or the people listening.
Yes. We're time travelers. We
have a TARDIS right outside the...
That's from Doctor Who. I know that.
Oh, there's a DeLorean right next to it.
That's from Back to the Future.
And there's a floaty ball person carrier.
The Prisoner?
No, that one's from a Neil Gaiman book called Fortunately the Milk. A Stegosaurus rides around in a hot air balloon, which she calls a floaty ball person carrier. And that's their time machine.
Wait, but this isn't a time machine, but The Prisoner. Have you ever seen it?
I haven't. I've always meant to see The Prisoner.
It's weird, and you watching 1 or 2 episodes is all you really need to do, because it's really just it's really surreal, and it doesn't necessarily follow any sort of continuity.
Yeah, but there were people I knew who were way into it.
But it's interesting, and there's a lot of odd shit. One of the things, and you probably heard this from the people that you've talked to, is that this guy, I guess, was a secret agent or something like that. He retired. He just suddenly retires, and then all of a sudden he wakes up and he's on this island.
Yes.
With a bunch of people that are numbered.
Right. Yeah, I got that.
And he doesn't have name anymore. One of the big lines, it was Patrick McGowan was the actor, and he would say, "I am not a number, I am a free man," and yeah,
important distinction.
Yes, and I remember after seeing it, we had a megaphone in college, and we opened up the windows because it was actually this time of year in the spring.
Yeah,
and we were like, oh, we can open the windows and have
right.
a nice breeze blowing, and it's cool and nice,
yeah.
and and so we had the megaphone. We were yelling out the dorm at people that were walking by.
I am not a number.
I'm a free man.
I'm a free man.
People are like, what the hell is wrong with you, idiot?
You know,
but let me get back to. So, like, when he was trying to escape the island, these giant white balls, like balloons, would fly out of the water.
Yeah,
and they would just white balloons would just trap him and then bring him back. So yeah,
kind of like the 6th season of Lost with those big balloons, and those were those were the outtakes.
Was it?
No.
I watched that. I don't like. I only watched the 6th season once. What did they just make it like The Prisoner?
But no. But the thing is that the 6th season is so universally reviled by most people that I could have. I wanted to see if you would go for it. Because you probably have only seen it once, whereas I've probably seen it like 6 times.
Really?
I love Lost.
I loved Lost up to season. I don't know. I'd say probably like the first 3 were great. The 4th and the 5th were eh. Yeah. The 6th was just bad.
Yeah. The 5th is the one where they're back in the 70s.
Yeah.
And I think that one is good to a point. It has some of my.
That's why I'm like I'm not saying it's bad, but it's eh.
So it's Easter time.
Reaster time.
And you forgot.
Well, like basically,
I was saying
on Friday, people were like, "Oh, it's Good Friday." I'm like, "Oh, yeah."
Yeah. What's so good about it?
Didn't Jesus die that day?
Well, I mean,
Did he die today or
no? He died
yesterday.
He got nailed to the fucking cross. Now, think about how bad this world is that God decided to kill himself. Right? I mean, Holy Trinity.
He didn't kill himself.
He didn't kill himself.
The Romans did.
He's in control of the Romans. It's all part of the plan, Steve. It's all part of the plan.
Free will, Chris.
Yeah. Keep on believing that, buddy.
Just like you believe in the magic man in the sky that's telling us that we have to do all these things.
Yes, Jesus died on Friday. Jesus died on Friday on a cross next to or between 2 thieves.
Yes.
And
then he was buried.
He was buried, and then
on Easter was when he rose from the grave.
Yes. Easter is when The Walking Dead happens.
Oh. I've been watching more of The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
I won't talk about it because
I did add it back to my queue.
Quay?
What's that?
Quay.
My Quay? Yeah. I did add it back to my Quay. Although I'm back in I'm in sort of that back and forth of I started adding a whole bunch of things back to my queue, and I know that within a couple weeks I will be stressed out by the fact that there's so many things in my queue. And I will delete most.
Did you put those dollars through the laundry? Is that where they're laying out on there?
I can neither confirm nor deny that. We are not a money laundering service. So, what other holidays do you forget about? That was the
mostly religious holidays. Passover is around this time of year as well. And obviously, I'm not Jewish, so
right.
Well, not obviously, I'm not Jewish, but because I'm not Jewish, I don't remember Passover.
Yeah.
And because I'm not really religious, except for Christmas, religious holidays just kind of go.
Yeah. Well, and Christmas is really a pagan holiday anyway. I mean, and so is Easter.
So is Easter, yeah. And so is
they're all pagan holidays because they're hey, we need to get these.
At least we got to keep one as a pagan holiday.
Yeah. Which one's still a pagan holiday?
Halloween.
Oh, that's right. That's right. There's no saint official.
Saint Halloween?
Saint Halloween.
No.
Saint Halloween, yeah.
All Hallows Eve. Isn't that what it is?
Something like that.
Let's make it, year round. But yeah, what other? The 4th of July is sort of the summer solstice one for Americans.
Yeah.
But that's a more national holiday, nationalistic holiday as opposed to.
Are you saying there are other places besides America?
Yes. And I think maybe they listen to us.
Maybe.
Oh, speaking of which, I'm going to blindside you with this.
You're going to blindside me. All right, I like being blindsided.
Our Canadian correspondent, Bailey, was none too pleased with you.
Oh, interesting. Why was she none too pleased? I know that she unfollowed me at some point.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I was going through, and at some point I was off the.
Well, if you apologize,
okay,
like she'll.
All right.
I'm sure I'll say something that'll piss somebody off, and they'll unfollow me and whatever. But hey, it's the way of Twitter.
It is
life.
The way of the Twitter.
Or maybe she did it accidentally. So
she might have.
Okay, so, how does what the? So yeah, she didn't like that you were bashing Les Miserables. being someone who's very into music, she doesn't necessarily appreciate it. But she's like, I didn't love. I don't know if these are. I don't know if she wants me to read these.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
She was not a fan of me making fun of Les Miserables.
Yeah. So I think the to sum up her point, like to paraphrase it, so I'm not directly quoting.
Yeah.
She's like, you don't like musicals to begin with.
I do like musicals to begin with.
Oh, you do?
I do. I don't know if we talked about this in that episode. So her opinion might vary on that. I don't generally like, what's the category? I think sung through musicals. I did a Wikipedia search on it. And
okay, so if you don't like that kind of musical,
I'm not a huge fan of the musical where there's no book, where there's no sort of dialogue that happen, where there isn't any dialogue that happens outside of song.
Okay,
although I can see the point of it, because one of the most awkward points in any musical. I picked up my pen to write something down. I don't remember what it was.
I'm taking it away from you.
Now I remember what it was. So the most awkward point in any musical is that point at which they stop speaking regular dialogue and start singing. But I love, she may hate me even more when I admit the ones that I love. I love Into the Woods. I love Rent. I love Chicago. And those are the three that stand out. I think they possibly stand out because they're also ones where I've seen the film, but I've never seen a stage production of Chicago, so I have to admit that. Seen a stage production of the other ones, but I like musicals. I just wasn't a huge fan of Les Miserables.
Okay, well, I don't know if that helps.
I don't know if that helps either.
But yeah, I don't want to go into too much of what you said. I don't know if she really wanted me to say it or even bring it up.
But now that I was making fun of the French, right? Is that kind of what I was?
No. That was not what she was getting at.
And now I've made fun of people outside of America. I'm not really making fun of people outside of America. I'm playing a character. I'm saying
she's not French Canadian.
I'm not saying anything about her anymore.
Oh,
I'm just saying in general for all those of you who are like Americans. I am American.
Who's Americans?
I don't know who's Americans. Have we gone through all the holidays?
All the religious ones?
All the religious ones. All the ones you forget.
Well, there's a bunch of Jewish ones that I just when I see it on the calendar, I'm like, oh, that's
Yom Kippur.
What's that one?
I don't know.
Why did you bring it up then?
I know of Yom Kippur and Passover and Hanukkah.
There's Hanukkah, yeah.
Those are the ones I know.
There's another one though. I think it's
there are probably many other ones, but
there's at least one more.
At least one more major one that we should be ashamed for not knowing.
Why?
Because we're
like, what other freaking religions' birthdays?
What other religion? Well,
what other religion holidays do you know?
Do I know? I know about Celebrity Day.
What's Celebrity? That's not a religion.
That is a Celebrity Day. February 22nd is a major holiday in the Church of Scientology.
What?
Celebrity Day.
Eat shit. What is
February 22nd.
Tell me what fucking Celebrity Day is.
This is a major holiday for the Scientology's many celebrity centers, highlighting their achievements and celebrating their existence. The date is specifically the anniversary of the opening of the Celebrity Center International in Los Angeles in 1970, which, in the church's words, is, quote, dedicated to the rehabilitation of the culture through art.
Oh, that's interesting.
March 13th.
That was last month. What other?
L. Ron Hubbard's birthday.
Of course.
That is a major one.
Well, he did write the book.
Yeah.
I remember. May
9th.
Hey, hold on.
Dianetics.
That's what I was going to talk about. Like, when I remember as a kid, I remember seeing ads on TV for the book.
Yeah.
And I would be like, what the hell is that? Because I remember there being like a volcano in it. And I'm like, that looks cool.
It scared me in the same way that old special on Nostradamus, hosted by what's
Leonard
his
Nimoy?
name? No. This one was hosted by
That sounds like
the red sled guy.
Orson Welles.
Orson Welles, yeah, that guy.
Rosebud.
Never seen that movie.
I haven't either.
Yeah.
So,
but
I know of it.
But that special scared the crap out of me. I had to talk to my grandma about like how scared I was about the end of the world after seeing that, because it ended with they had two versions of it that were out when we were kids. One that was out in the 80s, that was maybe even the early 80s, and then they redid it around the time of the first Gulf War. They sort of like appended saying that maybe Saddam Hussein was the quote unquote the third great dictator, or third great was bringing about the third great apocalypse or whatever. He was going to start the Third World War,
which it didn't happen.
Well,
we did have a war, but it wasn't a world war.
Yeah,
it was just
a war,
as they say in The Big Lebowski, a limited skirmish with that camel fucker in Iraq.
Speaking of The Big Lebowski, the guys that I follow on the 5x5 podcast network, Dan Benjamin and Merlin Mann, are doing a
Manfred Man.
They're doing a special 5x5 at the movies on April 9th about The Big Lebowski. They're going to talk probably for longer than the movie is, probably for like hours, about The Big Lebowski.
That's not shocking.
That's not shocking. No, I'm very excited to hear it.
I actually went to see it. Did we talk?
We talked about that. Yeah,
but I did go to see it in the theaters last weekend.
Yeah, I am.
Or last Thursday.
I need to see it again. Maybe before then, but I don't know. I have such a busy week. I don't know when I'll see it.
I'd say I think it's back on streaming video service.
Yes, and that's the thing, is that I own it, but it is on streaming video service. That they were talking about it, and like a day later, it came back on.
It's weird because I got the email from that particular streaming video service.
Yes, yeah,
and they said, "Hey, this movie's on there. We thought you might like it." I'm like, "Yeah, I probably gave it 5 stars back." When I first signed up for your fucking service, back when I was still getting discs from you.
Yeah.
Can you guess which one it is, kids?
So going back to the topic of religion.
Oh yes.
So they were kind of prefacing. Well, this connects the two things. They were prefacing their upcoming special. Dan and Merlin, on the most recent episode of their program Back to Work, they were talking about why The Big Lebowski is so beloved, how the first time that Dan saw it, he kind of like, everyone was telling him to see it, and the first time he saw it, he's like, I didn't like that, I'm never watching it again. But he kept thinking about it, and he watched it the second time, and he's like, I think that might be my favorite movie ever. And then, keep going back, and it's the sort of thing that grows on you. They brought up that there is, in fact, a Church of Dudism. If you go to the website of the Church of Dudism... Did
you do some research on this?
I did some research on this.
Yes, I'm going to have questions.
The Church of Dudism, let me see if I can bring it up. They will ordain you, and you will be able to perform weddings as a priest or whatever of the Church of Dudism.
Do you have to be like...
I don't think there are that many requirements. Let me see if I can... Dudists of the world unite. Come join the slowest growing religion in the world, Dudism, an ancient philosophy that preaches non-preachiness, practices as little as possible, and above all, lost my train of thought there. Anyway, if you'd like to find peace on earth and goodwill, man, we'll help you get started, right after a little nap. First, you might want to get ordained as a Dudist priest. There are over 270,000.
Dudist priest? That sounds like
worldwide.
Judas Priest.
We should start a band called Dudist Priest.
No. I already have a band.
I have a band too. I haven't made a record in like 5 years now.
We made one last year, but
Yeah. Who's counting? Wouldn't you want to be a Dudist priest? I mean, I would like to be a Dudist priest.
I guess.
I'm gonna click the link right now.
Are you gonna become one?
I don't. It probably costs a little bit of money, and I don't have any. So.
Oh well, then don't then.
I'm just gonna find out like what the deal is.
Do you have to like dress up like Jeffrey Lebowski?
Perhaps.
I want like there's a shirt that I want to get, and I forget who it's a Japanese baseball player, and we
talked about this.
I haven't gotten the shirt yet, but I'm thinking about it. That Jeff Bridges wears in 3 movies. Fuck.
Yeah.
I think this episode should be called "We Talked About This."
That's pretty good. Yeah, so apparently to become a Dudist priest is fast, free, and easy online.
Oh, look at that! You don't even have to pay, Chris.
I could be there was some other damn church out there that you could do this with years ago, but I'm much more interested in becoming a Dudist priest. There's even a picture of good old. Wait, this has got to be. There's a picture of John Goodman as Walter. I mean, I know it's got to be photoshopped, but
because that was from the scene where they're showing Larry the homework. Is this your homework, Larry?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, I was very intrigued to hear that there was a Church of Dudism.
One of the things about that, we've already talked about it. I'm not even going to do it. Change the subject before I say the goddamn same things that I've said 100 times already.
Well, we were talking like we've both had relatively uneventful weeks.
We did, but we've managed to talk about things that we've talked about before.
And so one of the things we were talking about is like, should we go to like the headlines and one of the things that came up, and why won't it go there?
I want to go to there.
I want to go to there. I want what I had up on the screen before.
I don't know what you had up on the screen.
I'm really what was trend. It was what was trending. More trends. Let's see. List view. Hashtag ruin a movie with Hitler.
That is like from that At Midnight show.
Is it?
I think that they have like a hashtag because it's
always ruin a movie with something.
Well, no, it's usually funny hashtags, and if it's funny, if you do a really funny one, they'll put it on the show.
Oh, okay.
It's not a bad show. It's a little game show, just a Twitter game show, kind of.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
It's on the one of the other streaming video services. So
gotcha.
if you want to check it out there.
Ernest goes to concentration camp.
Oh, that's good.
Pitch Perfect Hitler. National Socialist lampoons the European vacation.
Okay, no. Stop.
There was another. Oh, that one's bad.
Just say it.
Honey, I Gassed the Jews.
Oh,
that
Jesus.
one is really, really, really not. There was a good one earlier, but
I think you whatever. Just enough.
High School Musical. But in terms of like the other news that was out there, you mentioned to me that Kraft and Heinz were getting together, and the only time I've ever had Kraft and Heinz get together is on my hamburgers.
Wait, because of the cheese singles.
Cheese signals.
I always thought you were dumping. I thought you were putting macaroni and cheese and ketchup on your burger.
That's not a bad idea.
That's it. It's not a bad idea. You know what?
Macaroni and cheese on your burger. What about in your burger? Have you ever watched Epic Mealtime?
Epic Mealtime.
Epic Mealtime. It's
no.
a YouTube show, and they do crazy shit like that. I made one of my frequent trips last night to the Pinball Wizard in Pelham, New Hampshire. I'll give them a free plug. Hey, why not?
Because they provide me, even though Sarah sets the machines a little bit too hard, because I'm not good, and my shot making blows. So if I miss shots, it goes fucking right down the out lane. Sorry.
But you're giving them a plug.
The slings don't need to be that fucking forceful, because it just like hits the sling right in the fucking out lane. Motherfuckers. Sorry.
But you like this place.
I like this place. Although I get frustrated sometimes.
I'd love to hear what you say about places you don't like.
I hate them now. But there's one in Lowell, and there's also one in right next to the Pinball Wizard. It's called Supas.
Suppas.
It's I always say suppas, even though, but like they have like the Superman logo.
Okay.
I don't know if they paid DC Comics
Probably
for it.
Not. Now DC is gonna.
Oh yeah, because DC Comics like listens to this, and they're gonna come fucking down.
You'd be surprised.
Down hard on a fucking like sub shop in Pelham, New Hampshire.
Come down hard on a sub shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, they have a thing called Fat Chicken there.
Okay.
And I got the buffalo fat chicken. I got a small buffalo fat chicken.
That reminds me of and I've told this story before, but like the McLean Deluxe was the most ridiculously named sandwich I'd ever had. And I actually never had it, but I'd ever heard of at McDonald's. And like the McLean Deluxe. And now you're talking about a small
fat chicken.
All right,
so it basically what it is spicy fries, like buffalo chicken strips, or jalapeno poppers, and just like a mountain of shit on a plate.
Pile my food in a fucking bowl.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So yeah, it was just a lot of stuff together, and so I ate the small fat chicken. Or small, it was the spicy fat chicken. The other fat chicken is like it has like marinara. It's like regular chicken, like breaded chicken, and then it has marinara sauce, French fries, and mozzarella cheese sticks on it.
Okay, there. I'm more about. I don't know. I've always been like Italian food. I'm in. Chinese food. I'm in. But like all this spicy stuff that now like is. Like,
I like spicy stuff.
I do not like spicy stuff. Steph likes spicy stuff. Like she can do the Thai food. I cannot do the Thai food.
I love Thai food.
She likes Mexican food, and I'm kind of like. Eh.
They had this thing on the wall, and it was one of those like, you know, hey, if you can eat this, it's free. And they were like
John Candy in The Great Outdoors.
Yeah, with that steak, but he had to eat like the gristle or whatever too, and it was gross. He did it, didn't he?
He did do it.
But it's a 2 foot basically fat whatever. They have fat chicken, spicy fat chicken. They have a fat cow, fat something else.
Okay, yeah.
And, you know, as many. They have a veggie fat, which when I was looking at the. When I was looking at it, it said veggie fat, and then the first thing that's listed is chicken. And maybe their online menu is broken.
Like chicken spelled like the vegan way?
No,
like,
it said chicken, and I'm like, what the fuck? You're apparently your concept of vegetarian
is
a little off.
Needs a little work.
But yeah, so that you could pick any of the varieties of fat. And eat this giant fucking sandwich, and like if you do it in a half an hour, and you have to drink a 20-ounce drink as well.
All right.
You win.
you win. You get fat.
You win. Well,
you yourself become a menu item.
They said they put your picture up on the wall, and I didn't see anyone's picture up on the wall. I don't know if they just started doing it, or if no one's been able to do it. And you also, but not only do you get you get the sandwich for free, which I don't know how much it would cost if it was not free. So I imagine it'd be 2 larges, so it'd be like $20-something or something like that. I think you also get a $60 gift certificate to the Pinball Wizard and a $60 gift certificate to Chunky's.
Wow, that sounds like a challenge.
So you basically, if you can eat this thing, you got yourself like freaking well over like $150 worth of stuff.
See,
if you can eat a shitload of food.
I can't ever.
I don't think you could.
I can't ever do it. That's the thing.
I can eat quickly, but I don't know if I could eat that much.
Even if I like sort of went on kind of a fast for the day.
No, but that wouldn't help.
Yeah, it wouldn't help because your stomach would.
Those competitive eaters, they're constantly eating, and the ones that are like skinny, like I forget the name of the Japanese guy, but like he is just always eating.
Always eating.
And like he's always eating a shit ton, and he's always working out.
Yeah.
Because you have to do something with the
to
fucking
burn off all that stuff. Yeah. And we went out for Melody's birthday earlier this week, and I literally felt like I had busted my gut from eating too much. Like there was a really sharp pain from me eating too much.
Did you have your belt too tight or something?
I didn't have the belt on then. No, I was probably just wearing pants that don't fit because I'm gaining all sorts of fucking weight. But let's move on.
No, let's not move on. Let's just say, throw caution to the wind. We'll go there. We'll each try to do the challenge. We'll do a live podcast from Suppas. And we'll both fail at eating this sandwich and be out $40.
Kraft and Heinz. Like,
yes, they are.
How did you hear about this?
I heard about it on Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Wait, Don't Tell Me. Not like wait as in like wait a minute, as a not wait like fat. Because we were just talking about fat. That was a dumb fucking joke. I'm sorry.
That was a joke?
Well, I pulled up something about Kraft and Heinz. Where the hell is it?
You did? Cool.
I did. Because I wanted to understand what the hell it was all about. This is from money.cnn.com.
Oh, cool. You're going to read an article. That'll waste some time.
Hey, you know? I'm good like that.
I shouldn't be the newsreader of the two because I tend to put on the most morose voice. And I'm like, well, blah, 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 blah. I could never be a newsreader. But if we do ever get a sponsor, I do want to do the live reads.
You want to do live reads. The play that I'm rehearsing, I actually got when we were working out the pacing of the thing, and the director actually said to me to read the lines in a Ben Stein voice, like so as completely devoid of emotion as you could. And I got the point. The point was that we just wanted to make sure we got all the rhythms correct before we started putting any emotion into it. But the reason I bring that up, what voice should I read this in?
Not Ben Stein's
Not
voice.
Ben Stein.
Try Tom Brokaw.
What I forget Tom Brokaw.
NBC Nightly News.
What he slurs something, right?
Like most words. Which is pretty fantastic that he was the person that read the news for so many years, and he definitely had a distinct speech impediment.
No, forget Kraft.
No, just do it in your fucking regular
Kraft
voice.
and Heinz merger to create food giant. Heinz is buying Kraft.
You mean they weren't already both fucking food giants?
Kraft and Heinz is buying Kraft Foods to create the world's 5th largest food and beverage company.
What are the other 3? Or 4? Wait, 5th? What are the other 4?
With sales of about $28 billion, Kraft shares surged more than 33% Wednesday. Kraft owns popular brands such as Jell-O, Maxwell House Coffee, and Planters Peanuts. Ooh. Heinz, of course, is famous for its ketchup and also owns Lee & Perrins and Ore-Ida.
Good. So you can get some tater tots, put your ketchup on it, and mix it with your mac and cheese.
Absolutely.
Or your Kraft singles, or whatever else that they fucking make. So what are these, do they list the other fucking bigger ones?
They list the other ones.
I want to look at that up.
Let's see.
So while you're reading, I'm looking that up.
So what I think is, let's see. Kraft shareholders will receive stock in the Kraft Heinz company, plus a special dividend of $16.50 per share.
Why are you fucking reading this part?
This isn't the first time that Buffett has worked with 3G Capital. I was trying to read it because now that makes no sense out of context. Berkshire Hathaway also helped 3G Capital finance Burger King's purchase of Canadian chain Tim Hortons last year.
Like they were talking about this on Wait, and they so they were like, if Warren Buffett tells companies to do something, do they just do it? Because he's just like a rich fucking idiot. Apparently.
The world, and especially this country, is run by rich fucking idiots.
I know. I don't. This is one of those things that bothers me. That why hasn't there been a revolution?
Do you want there to be a revolution? Like, we're all gonna die. Like, all of us.
Everybody's gonna fucking die eventually. Yes.
I would rather not die being shot. I'd kind of like to.
But the thing is, the revolution. There's so many more of us than there are of them.
Right. Well, but I'd probably be getting shot by my fucking neighbors who own not literal neighbors, but like my neighbors who own and run gun shops because I think of me as some kind of pinko fucking commie liberal.
No, but we need the guns to revolutionize.
But I'm willing to bet that the first people those people would go and try to shoot would be the weak bastards like me. They'd be like,
that didn't have guns.
That don't have guns.
Well, we need to get Worf and his purple space bazooka and fucking take on.
I don't know why there hasn't been a revolution.
Because it doesn't make sense. Like the income gap keeps on getting worse and worse.
You don't have to tell me that.
And we keep on getting fucked over and by these crazy rich idiots, and no one does anything.
Nope.
We have a silent, or we have a protest and in some place that has no direction.
Yeah.
And then it goes away, and then it gets worse.
Yeah. Well, the thing that part of the thing is that all of us poor idiots hate the rich idiots on the other side and want to defend the rich idiots on our own side. So like free market.
I don't want to defend the rich idiots on our side.
And the 1% shouldn't pay higher taxes and blah 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 blah.
I never would say that they shouldn't pay more taxes.
But I think a lot of like poor deluded people probably would say
they're
that.
the job creators, so blah blah blah. But they're not fucking creating jobs. The only reason that if they would just take a little bit of a pay cut and create more jobs, we wouldn't need unemployment because everybody would be fucking working, and then they wouldn't have to pay more taxes. Oh, but fuck, no, I need all this money for me, but I'm going to complain about the fucking taxes that you're fucking levying on me because of the fact that I fucking won't create jobs. Fuck you all and die. Sorry.
This message brought to you by... This episode of the podcast is sponsored by...
by Steve ranting really loud. And your neighbors are probably like, oh, Jesus. This is around my place, because I think there's more like wall in between.
There is a bit more wall, yeah. So Kraft and Heinz, and
I didn't realize that was going to happen. Maybe we should.
I don't know, I guess part of the reason they're merging is to cut costs at Kraft.
Oh, good. So let's lose jobs because we need to cut costs because our executives need more fucking boats.
Slashing costs at bloated companies, and Kraft needed help if it was going to start boosting profits.
Oh, yeah.
Because profits are important.
Yeah, because the stockholders are the only thing that matters, not the fucking people that work for you to make your boxed fucking poison that I fucking eat. Because I'm a lazy fuck and I don't want to fucking make real food.
I don't want to make real food either. When I have to stay home, the 2 nights of the week that I'm home with Kaylee, when Steph is working late, she has swim on Monday nights, so we end up stopping at McDonald's on the ride home, and because whatever, by the time we're out of there, it's late, and then on the other night we tend to have pizza,
DiGiorno, because that's Nestle.
No, not.
Or is it like the store brand?
Yeah, usually the store brand.
That's fine, whatever.
Yeah,
it's the same shit.
Yeah, Nestle making pizza, that's just fucking weird.
Well, Nestle they make all of those frozen dinners.
You know what else is weird? In Canada, Nestle makes Kit Kat, and actually, I think in everywhere else in the world besides the United States, Nestle makes Kit Kat, and in the United States, Hershey makes Kit Kat.
That's crazy.
That's fucked up.
When I was in Seattle, one of the things I bought at the little Japanese store that I went to, well, it wasn't little, it was huge. It was like an amazing Japanese grocery store. I got some green tea flavored Kit Kats.
Ooh.
They were fucking awesome. I like green tea.
They were awful, or
they were awesome.
Awesome.
I like that. You ever try green tea ice cream?
No.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's I'd say try it sometime.
Try
but
it.
like green tea Kit
But
Kats.
I don't like new things.
Oh, okay. Well then fuck, don't.
No, I'll try it. Steph likes green tea, so we should probably check it out.
Yeah, like sometimes they have it at
although what typically happens with ice cream is if I bought an ice cream that she likes, she's going to devour it and there won't be any left for me.
Well, no, this is something I don't think you can really buy it out unless you go to some place like a Japanese or Asian market.
Yeah.
I think John every once in a while, old roommate, not your brother, would get like mochi, just like little like ice cream balls.
Oh yeah, there's a I had students who kept telling me because there's a place that sells those downstairs in one of the buildings that I teach at. Which
they have the like that's right in Porter, right?
Yeah.
So Yeah, there's a Japanese.
Yeah,
store
and
there.
right there in like the Porter Exchange.
You could probably get like green tea ice cream in one of those
things.
Yeah, you could get it on your lunch break. Ice cream for lunch. I had ice cream for dinner the other day.
That's a pretty good thing.
I went to Sully's, getting local for you.
Oh God, that just made me really sad. I'm not going to talk about it because...
Why? Sully's ice cream makes you sad?
No, because Sully's ice cream is in our hometown.
It is.
We are, as I think I've alluded to on the show, trying to sell our house and move into my parents' house, which is in our hometown.
Yeah.
And we're running into some troubles, and that's all I'll say. And I've really been looking forward to, like...
Ice cream?
Well, I mean, and I can still go to Sully's when I visit my parents, even if we don't get to move. No, it took me a real long time to like get into the mindset of being okay with moving back to Chelmsford. And then just this week, I was driving around town, and I was like, yeah, I could actually kind of get used to being back home.
You can actually walk places.
Yeah. Yeah,
because like this, I mean, you could walk to the 7-Eleven here.
And walk to the 7-Eleven,
and that's that pizza.
There are no
place.
fucking. There are sidewalks that appear in this town that we are in now, for like literally like 100 feet, and then they disappear. Like there's a bowling alley and a medical center. Used to be a seafood place, which is just really weird.
Do you ever do that joke when you were a kid that you're like, hey, you want seafood, and then you chew up some food and you put it out on your tongue, and you're like, haha, see.
I think I've done that to my kids now.
Oh, do they think it's gross? Or
they don't like seafood anyway, so it's kind of a hard joke to pull off because they would just say no.
Just like whenever I would say you want 2 CDs,
yeah,
and then people are like, no,
and
I'm like, can you say yes so I can say the other part of the joke?
Like, who wants CDs anymore, Steve?
No, this worked when it also didn't work back when before iTunes.
Before iTunes, yeah, before. God.
But yeah, I got an ice cream for dinner there. It was a little chilly of a night, and my hand was just cold after eating it. But
yeah.
Do you ever like try to sneak over there in high school?
To Sully's?
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, which is probably a lot of you, Sully's ice cream is very close to Chelmsford High School.
Yeah, it is directly adjacent to the high school's like not the parking lot, but like the field,
the front. What's not a lawn. Front lawn of the whatever. So you could kind of like walk over there and
I think I did in typical like Chris fashion of not really ever breaking any damn rules. I think I finally did it after I was done with senior year. Like I came back and I visited with somebody like after the seniors were done, but before the year was over. And I walked with them up there. So like technically they were breaking the rules, but I wasn't.
See, we went there a couple of times until they stopped letting us. Like I think the school was like, stop giving these kids ice cream so they'll stop going here. And I'm like, fuck, they want to make money,
right?
Like, in as far as rule breaking goes,
that's not that bad of fucking.
And it's if like
you don't have to cross any streets.
Yeah,
you cross.
It's technically still. I don't know. It's not on the campus, but like it's pretty darn close. It's as close as you possibly can get, and whatever. Like we had free periods. We were going there. Like we could go there if it was the end of the day. Well, fuck you. Like let us just go over and get ice cream.
Right. Yeah. Are
you losing that much money because we're not eating the shitty food in the cafeteria?
Oh God. Yeah. Cafeteria food. I like.
No offense to the cafeteria ladies. Or gentlemen.
There at Westlands, there was it
that's not even a school anymore.
But was it Bagney's? Was that the place that was across the street?
Yeah.
And did they stop letting kids go over there at some point? Because I remember kids would get.
I would go there after school, but like
garbage pail kids and stuff from which are. Do we have to explain what garbage pail kids are?
You do it.
A trading card sticker thing with gross versions of it relies on Cabbage Patch Kids, and then you have to explain what Cabbage Patch Kids are.
The Cabbage Patch Kids were the craze in the 80s.
Yeah, they were these cute little dolls that my aunt bought a ton of them. So Garbage Pail Kids were making fun of that, except they were like really gross.
Yeah, they were just gross things with people picking their nose, then it would come out their eye, and just like, you know, and then like
somebody's head would explode.
Yeah,
was that atom bomb?
Yeah, atom bomb. I think that was actually I think they were numbered, and I think that was in fact the first one.
The first one, yeah. But I remember kids would go over and get those. I also
some
remember,
of them were really really gross, and I didn't like it all. But especially when someone was barfing, because the way they drew the barf, it was just
I remember my brother would take he had like a lined notebook that he took the stickers off the card and put them in the notebook, rather than just like keep the cards around. And those cards, well, nothing's worth anything today. But during like the 90s collector craze, I bet you, like if he had just kept them on the card, he could have made a shit ton of money.
He might have been able to do something, yeah. But
I think
again,
yeah, I mean, he took all those off. Yeah.
But I remember I was.
But they candy was the other thing. You could like buy candy over there. This reminded me of a story I heard the other day where somebody was saying, you know, a lot of the entrepreneurs, salespeople, whatever that he knows, are people who would like go to their local convenience store, buy a bunch of Jolly Ranchers for like $1, and then sell them at like a markup on the playground. And I wondered if that was something that because I remember kids having Jolly Ranchers at Westlands, but I was wondering if that was like maybe something that happened and they banned kids from going over to Bagneys to get the Jolly Ranchers.
See,
if those kids today are,
I used to do something similar to that when I was in college. I would go to. I would, you know, because I'd be home on the weekends because I'd be working in Hannaford's, and I would, you know, of course, I smoked cigarettes back then, and I would go to New Hampshire and I'd buy a carton,
right,
and then I'd get back to school, and then people would be like, they wouldn't want to pay like, you know, the Massachusetts price for a pack. Yeah. And so they'd buy them off me, and I'd basically make like, I think maybe $1.50 per pack.
Oh, nice!
And so I'd buy an extra carton, and so each week I would just sell off that entire carton, and I'd make like, you know, it wasn't like an absurd amount of money, but it was enough to buy some beers over the course of the week.
Does that make you a drug dealer?
I don't know. Yeah, kind of.
I mean, nicotine's a drug, right?
Well, I
Controlled
mean,
substance.
I wasn't selling to underage,
okay.
and it is in fact legal, so I guess not.
Okay. We're at 5150. For a couple of guys who had nothing to talk about, we've
certainly. Oh, there's one more thing.
Yeah.
Garbage Pail Kids reminded me of this. I was at the Friendly Toast.
Oh, yes, and I'm gonna go ahead.
I was at the Friendly Toast one time a while ago, and the one in Kendall. Kendall, the one near MIT, and they had a bar area, and there was a trading card called like Wacky Packages.
Okay,
which was similar to Garbage Pail Kids, but it was just like I don't know, whatever. And like they had those on the bar, basically underneath like the glass.
Yeah.
There was also a place when your brother and I were in Montreal that it was Funzo or something like that.
Okay.
It was a bar that we went to, and they had like anime or not, manga like pages underneath the bar.
Okay.
And right where we sat, there was a bunch of One Piece pages, just like right in front of it. It was like from the Baratier arc, and I'm like, this is great. And I think I already talked about this.
In the drinking game, the hot drinking game, how much does somebody drink when you finally mention One Piece in an episode?
I don't know. I think you have to drink a whole bottle of beer.
I think that's we need the listeners to chime in on that.
Come up with the horribly off topic drinking game. We don't do work for us because we hate doing work.
I could just diary. Have I told you about this thing before? So
probably.
It's thinking back on high school, on elementary school, and whatever reminded me of what I've forgotten twice during the course of the episode. This was what I was going to write down earlier, and I forgot, and then I forgot again, and I finally wrote it down. The idea is people get up in front of a live audience at the Seacoast Repertory Theater in Portsmouth.
Oh!
And read from their high school journals or diaries. And it is hilarious because
do they read all their spelling errors and like
everything
I used the wrong there
everything that's humiliating about it, and we all laughed together. I did it twice last year, maybe the year before, and now they're kind of on this schedule of like you can only do it every other time. So I'm going to be there on April 15th at 7:30 at the Seacoast Repertory Theater for I Could Just Diary. And
what day of the week is that?
It's a Wednesday.
Wednesday.
A Wednesday.
Hey, that's tax day.
That is tax day. Reminds me I have to do my taxes.
You haven't done your taxes yet?
I haven't done my taxes.
Holy hell. I already got my return. Well, I did mine in February, so.
Yeah. But it's an amazing event, and it's fucking funny.
Maybe if I don't think I got anything going on that day, maybe I'll come by. I don't have any diaries to read myself.
Yeah, well, they
have to take submissions. Yeah,
they've got like I think it's like 15 people.
But I will boo you really loud.
Thank you.
Oh, they have pinball machines up in Portsmouth.
Another reason to go.
All right.
We got a couple minutes left. We got some email.
Oh yeah. From the front to the back to the email.
This is from Matt.
Friend of the show, Matt.
Matt.
The guy that was on during the holidays.
Yes. Hey, gents. I've been home on paternity leave for the last few months, so my AM ritual listening to your podcasts on my way to work got a bit backlogged due to taking care of the baby. Well, that and watching / live tweeting the original Star Wars trilogy. Thanks for the shout out.
How do you live tweet something that isn't happening live?
Well, he was watching it. It was live for him.
No, but like, okay, I think the idea of live tweeting is basically like you're watching something that's like a show that I've been watching recently, but I'm not watching it live. Is Better Call Saul.
Okay.
And if your live tweet, you're tweeting when it's airing.
When it's on. Okay.
Like on, like, you know.
Are you trying to alienate Matt in the same way that I alienated Bailey? Because like we're gonna lose all our listeners.
I'm not alienating it. I'm just saying that you're the way what you're saying is sort of wrong.
All right. It's not what I'm saying. It's what
I'm saying. Not what Matt is saying is wrong.
Okay. All right.
Sir, thank you.
Basically, my 4-month-old wanted to eat every alien and poop on Jabba, which is exactly the reaction a 4-month-old should have.
Did she? Well, I don't think he would look very different if like he had
poop on him.
Yeah. And that little thing would be like,
"Hey, you're being pooped on."
That didn't talk. It would just laugh.
He had some kind of language. No, I guess it was all laughter.
Yeah.
In your discussion, you guys debated the value of the prequels and how you felt they were terrible. I just want to say, I am a prequel apologist, so if I did not come off as a prequel apologist, I would just...
I'm not a prequel. I am a prequel. Didn't like them. I guess it's good that I saw them, but I don't want to see them again. Just. Let me just...
However, I would like to bring up the fact that Episode 6, that is Return of the Jedi, pissed a lot of people off with the inclusion of the cute and cuddly Ewoks.
Yes.
I can't remember where, but there was a quote-unquote study about how people reacted to the movie based off of how old they were when it came out. I'll try to find the study.
Well, the same can be said about the prequels, too, because, like, you know, the Red Letter Media guys, on like the beginning of the first review, he's like... if you're under the age of, you know, whatever, like 12, and your least favorite movie is Empire Strikes Back because it was the most boringest, then you should probably turn this review off right now.
Yeah. Well, with the recent scheduled napping periods getting more and more regular, I have marathoned your last 5 or so episodes and thought that you would appreciate the fact that I neglected marathoning House of Cards on my streaming device in order to catch up. We also appreciate that you called it your streaming device and didn't give them free advertising. Thank you very much.
We do every week. Except for this week.
We've made it the whole time without saying Netflix or HBO.
Drink, I guess. just people just like... when you're driving to work. Wait, no, that's
just pull out the flask.
Bad ideas.
I would say, in order to make things relevant, that Steve made me chuckle in your last episode while mentioning his fascination with the term "comes in handy."
It is funny. Every time I hear it, whenever like even when someone says it, like, and they're Well, obviously, almost everybody that says it is not intending it the way that I hear it, but I hear it and I'm just like, and I just start giggling to myself because someone just said it, and it's just like, I don't know, whatever. Fuck you all.
I have a similar expression I encountered whilst cleaning my daughter's diaper pee overload. I said, "Did you pee all over yourself? You're in trouble." Get it? You're in trouble? I knew I might have to explain that for Chris.
I remember there was...
thank you for the explanation, because I didn't get it.
There was a thing... I remember a friend of mine used to subscribe to High Times, which was... I don't know if it still exists. Like, well, you know magazines. So
I do.
Do you know if High Times still exists? Maybe you should look it up for the show notes.
Which will be at clarkwoods.com/hot/36.
In a row?
You fucking blew the joke. That joke's not till next time.
Oh. In a row?
Were you? Did you finish? I don't know if you.
What was I gonna say?
I don't remember.
I don't either.
I would. Matt sent a follow up.
Okay. Hold on.
All right.
The High Times. That's what I was talking about.
I don't know if High Times still exists.
High Time, but there was this ad for Tommy Chong. He had this thing where you could take it and it would clear your pee for like a pot test or whatever for work. And like somewhere on the ad, I remember it saying you're in trouble. And he, like, you know, he was just Tommy Chong. He's giving a big thumbs up.
Big thumbs up. He did pretty well on that Dancing with the Stars program, Tommy Chong.
What?
My family, all the women in the house, love watching Dancing with the Stars. And sometimes, because I am a good father and husband, I would sit and watch it with them. And not this
and
time.
And not sit there on your iPad while
sometimes
half watch it?
Sometimes. And not this one that's not going on now, but the previous one, Tommy Chong actually did a really good job.
Well, the thing is, like, that bothers me about going off topic again. That bothers me about Dancing with the Stars, and I haven't watched much of it, if any. But most of the time, I'm trying to figure out which person of the dancing couple is the star. And if I can't tell that, then maybe this person isn't a fucking star.
Well, the easy way is which one. If it's a dude. All the male dancers tend to have their shirts either open or off.
Okay.
Right? And if it's the woman, she is in terms of who's the dancer, she is typically the she's incredibly fit in a very
a dancer going to be fit? In
a very tight dress and probably heels that you would be like, I have no idea how anybody could dance in those.
Okay, so
the star, you know,
I got it.
The star sometimes can
easily have those attributes.
Some of them, but especially as you get towards the end, because typically the people who are more fit and more attractive make it to the end.
Yeah, and Tommy Chong gets
Tommy
like,
Chong,
yeah,
but yeah, because I think he made it pretty far.
He's like 80 years old, isn't he? Look it up.
I would like to add, this is the last bit from Matt, your last episode was possibly one of the best to date. Sans the depression one, which was also a great listen. At least you limited your Netflix humping discussions.
Oh, we said it again.
Thank you, Matt. We should plug some things and get the hell out of here.
Yes.
I got to go rehearse.
I've got to go. Well, at least you don't have to drive from my place because we're here.
That is true.
I'm here. Not drunk.
You're not drunk.
We're recording at your place, so I haven't been drinking. I've never actually get drunk except for that one time. But like usually I have 2 beers on the show, and that's hardly getting drunk.
No. You can find me at ECC1977 on Twitter.
And you can find me on Twitter at TuesdayIsLoser. That's at TuesdayIsLoser.
And of course, as we said, show notes are at clarkwoods.com/hot/36. And you can send us email like Matt did to hot@clarkwoods.com.
Right.
Thanks,
buddy. Let's have ourselves let's have a nice Cadbury cream egg to finish off the show.
Oh.
We can eat it Lady and the Tramp style.
Chomp. No.
You're gross.